Welcome back to my channel where I teach you every girl's generation dance. Today I will be teaching Lovin' Girls. This video is part 1, which is the explanation and slow counts. So if you want to follow along with slow counts and slow music, then I have part 2 linked below. As usual, on my right hand and my right leg, I have ribbons wrapped around it just to make it easier to learn this dance. So let's get started. So this dance is pretty easy and repetitive, but I'll still just quickly go through each part. So starting from the beginning, for the first few counts, you won't start moving right away. It's not until the third count where you can start rocking to the right. Then your legs will curl in as your hand turns in, and then out as your hand turns out. And then same for the other side. And then after your hand is out, you're going to take steps forward on 1, 2, 3, 4. And so your left hand stays up. And then on 1, 2, 3, 4, your hands are counting the same way for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try the counts from the beginning. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then from here, your hands will be making fists when you step, and then you drop your hands and open your fingers, and also your heel will be touching the ground so that your toes point up. And you do that same move again as you're walking. So it's kind of like throwing something down. And you do that for a full count of 8. So that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you can step out. With your hand open, you're going to poke your hip out twice before you do 1, 2, 3, 4 again. And let's try the counts for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To get to the next part, you will bring your hands down, have your hands out, and you look slightly right, and then you hit your head left. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. So from here, you're going to hold this position for a few counts until you poke your booty out twice. Then you're going to push your hands out, bring them in with your right hand slightly covering your mouth. Then you're going to tilt your head and tilt your hand. From here, that's on 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Then from here, you're going to walk, 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 walk. Then you're going to turn towards your right side to face the back. And then you're going to do a tiny squat. And then you're going to turn towards the front. And when you turn towards the front, you're kind of still walking. Then you're going to land the walk on your right foot. And when you do that, you kind of poke your hip out, your left hip out, and kind of do like a reverse body roll from bottom to top. At the same time, your fingers are making this motion coming up. So it looks like roll twice. So let's try the counts from here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. So this is one of the key parts of the dance. They are kind of sliding their hands. First the right hand comes up, and then you switch again, and switch again. With your left hand up, you're kind of like swishing your right knee to open, close, open, close. So that's one of the key parts of this dance that they repeat throughout the dance. And if you know the song, then you'll know the parts to do that at. So let's try with the counts. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. From here, you're going to swing your right hand up and your left leg out and end slightly leaning forward facing the left side. So that looks like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. From here, when you lean forward, first it's a ripple, and you're going to lean back and cross your arms. Then you hold this. Then you're going to move your neck left, right, left. Then from here, you can hold this position, and before you kick, you can prep for it, and then you kick, 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 kick. So let's try that all together from here. And this part is definitely easier with the song too, but I'll do the counts. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So for the rest of this count, you're going to keep your arms crossed and then walk into the next position. And everyone's doing something slightly different. You can just open your hands, or you can do it at your chin. You can do anything where you just pretty much uncross your arms. This is leading up to the next part of the staple dance move. So let's start with the neck movement, left, right, left. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So then from here we can do this again. So 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. For the last count on this one, it's slightly different. So when Tiffany says, let me break it down, you're actually going to hold here, so you won't come in and out for that count. So it looks like 5 and 6 and hold, hold. So for the next move, which is the shampoo move, you can kick out. When you kick out, you want your arms to be up and bent, and your right hand will come back first with your left hand forward. And then when you step, you can switch. So it looks like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1. So this is another iconic part of the dance, which is the shampoo dance. So first you're going to start with your leg out and both arms are up. Your right hand will be behind your head and your left hand will be in front of your face. Then when you step, you're going to switch your hands. Kick out, you're going to switch again. Step is switch. So it looks like from here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then the other iconic part, which is the nails. So first, your right hand is going to be flicking off of your wrist, and you're going to be doing a bounce with it too. Then your left hand will be flicking, and then right, and then left. So that's 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Then from here, you're going to do the shampoo dance again for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when they say get up, this part is different. So your hands will be pointing down, reaching up and over. Then you're going to drop your hands. Then you're going to roll your hands up with a body roll. And then swing your hands behind you. So it looks like get up, drop, get up, hit. And with the counts, it's 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. So let's try from the shampoo dance. So that is 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. From here, you're going to be pointing towards the left side, and your right hand will be pointing. And you're going to lean forward, come back up, and then drop down. Then you're going to turn forward. Then you're going to bend your right leg, and then swap again. And the counts, let's try the counts from this part. So 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then from here, you're going to do the shampoo dance again. For this part of the shampoo dance, instead of kicking and stepping, the first one is going to be a kick, but then from here, you're going to lift your toes and turn your heel. Lift and turn, lift, turn. So it looks like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's the only time they do the dance like that. Then nail dance again, 5 and 6. But instead of doing it all the way to the 8 count, you're going to bring your hands up, kind of like making a rainbow shape. And then you're going to make a fist and then shoot out again. Reach down and around. And that's on. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2. So we're starting here, and then you throw down from this part. They're going to step and clap, step, clap, step, clap, step, clap. So you do that for a full 8 count. And then on the second 8 count, you're going to step, clap, step, clap, step, clap, step, clap. Then I'll teach Soo Young's part here. So she brings her hand out, out, drop, and then she throws her right arm up, and then her left arm up, and they're both in fists, and then you can open it. 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. And from here you can lift your leg because they're going to do like a light jog motion. Some of them, their legs are low, but some of them are really doing it high. So I would just do whatever you want to do. So you jog. At the same time, your shoulders are moving front and back. And you do that for a full 8 count. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. For the second 8 count, in the middle of the jog, you're going to open your legs and then kick your right leg up. And when you do that, you're going to look to the left. Then you jump to open your legs again, and you look forward when you kick your left leg up. So it's jump, kick, jump, kick. And so you're looking at the same time as a kick. So jump, look, jump, look. This part is hard to see in the music video. You have to watch a live performance to see this part of the dance. That part with the counts is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Then on 7, you're going to lean forward on anniversary. Then we're going to do the shampoo dance again. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1 and 2. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1. So for the second chorus, everything is exactly the same except for 2 things that are different. So first, when you lean, instead of leaning towards the left side, you're just going to face the front and lean forward, back, forward, do the same motion. The second difference is the very last nail part. First, you're going to do your left side twice, and for your right side, you're only going to do that once before you bring your hands in fists and then open, and then you hold it here. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8. So for the bridge, when they do the ripple kind of motion. I'll only be teaching Hyoyeon's part. So from here, you hold for 8 count. So you're going to do kind of like a chest pump. First, it comes in, and then you switch your hands out, in. So in, out, in. So you're going to push up twice, and then you're going to point up and jog. So you jog for the entire section of this part until you jump. And when you jump, you're facing slightly towards the right. And your right hand is higher than your left. And you kind of do like a pump. So you can bring your elbows in. And then you can jump to the other side and do the same thing. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. So, with your right hand bent and higher than your left hand, you're going to kind of bring your elbows in and kind of pop your body in. So you do that twice on one side, then you jump and do the same thing on the other side, then you jump, same thing on the other side, jump again. And the counts for that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. So from here, the chorus is the same as the second chorus. It just matches the lyrics. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. So the very last chorus, everything is pretty much the same. So between this dance and the nail dance and this, everything's pretty much the same with the lyrics of the song. The only difference is that at one point, you're going to be turning with this move. So the way that you turn is when you brush out, instead of brushing out and in, you're just going to step out on your right leg, out on your right leg, and out on your right leg. So every time you step is when you're going to be turning out until you're facing forward again. And then on the last nail motion, instead of finishing it, you're just going to come out, and that's when they start cheering. Yay, we did it. So I'll just count that part. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, I would really appreciate it if you leave a comment below and also a like. It would help other people find my channel as well. Thank you. Bye.